I have a gift for you. My third book, The Intentional Design Year, is out, and I want to give you access to read it. To get the digital copy for 1 month for free, go to www.designsuitecourses.com/intentional. Make sure and do the www. Because for some reason, that's the only way it will work. Anyway, this will get you free access to read the book for an entire month. If you love it, you can always go to Amazon and get the whole book plus the prompt journal. Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm Karina Gardner, and today I want to talk about our next year. So 2026 is looming, as in a couple of days from now, we're going to have a new year. And I want to talk about the fact that a month ago, I released a new book. It's been my third book that I have self-published. And this particular book was really meant for this start of the year. Now, I did publish it a month in advance, and I've also given this amazing gift of free access for a month so everybody can play with it, read it, see if it feels good to them before they even purchase the book. I was less concerned with people purchasing the book and more concerned with people figuring out that there are some cool things that you can do for yourself if you want to get started with the new year. So the name of the book is called The Intentional Design Year, 365 Days of Inspiration and Guidance to Become the Designer You Were Meant to Be. And what it is a daily piece of inspiration and guidance, and then a prompt. And there's actually a prompt journal that goes along with this book, but I really built it not for necessarily the prompt journal, but just so that every single day you could jump in and think about something that could help improve you, make you a better designer. I really built the book so that it could be used a lot of different ways. You can do it chronologically and go to day one and just work through the entire year, or you can jump around and just open it up to wherever you want and work on that page. I'm really not I'm really hopeful that every person can find their best way of reading this book, because it's meant to be easy, it's meant to be inspirational, it's meant to help you grow as an individual and really see your own I don't want to say flaws, but like where things could be improved in your life so that you could become better. I'm really excited about this because I'm going to be doing it myself. Even though I wrote the book, these prompts are a mix of design and self-awareness. And I just think it's going to be super helpful for me, myself, to learn what I can do to become a better designer. I also have mixed in a lot of historical figures in design and fashion and writing that I love. And there's even, if you'll notice, a few pages that have author's notes. And those are my own little notes about how I felt about this particular prompt. Because there were plenty of times when I was writing this book, I was like, well, this is clearly for me. So the Intentional Design Year, if you're like, I would love to get that free gift, and you might have heard me talking about it in ads and, on my Instagram feed, all you have to do is go to designsuitecourses.com/intentional and make sure you have an HTTPS because it won't work otherwise. But go check it out and download it. It's a portal, so you'll be able to read it like a digital book for about a month. And my suggestion is to do the prompts every day. So whether you start at the beginning and you work your way through, or you kind of hop around and choose which ones you want to do, it really doesn't matter. The point is to decide that you're going to do it and make this year different, special, new, and exciting. And I think that's the whole point of the book. It is the longest book I've written, 365 pages of design advice and thoughtfulness. I thought I'd read a couple of them here to you so you can get an idea of what it is, because there really is a pretty big mix. So day 2 is called Edit, and I love Coco Chanel, and she, I think, is such an inspiration. So I kind of start day 2 talking about her. So it says, when Coco Chanel introduced her simple black dress in 1926, it was a radical act. Women during the era wore elaborate and intricate garments. These garments were full of layers, lace, and tight corsets. Chanel took all of that away and simplified the wardrobe. She turned mourning black into effortless elegance for women. Every designer reaches this pivotal moment. It is when you realize being a designer isn't just about following the rules. It is also to question them, maybe even break them. It is to discover how things could be simpler, smarter, bolder. Today, your job isn't to make something beautiful. It is to make something intentional. Ask yourself, does this design serve a purpose? What can I remove or edit away to make it stronger? Good design often starts with subtraction. Being a designer is not just about creating something new, but being a relentless editor. Chanel in her later years would be seen walking around holding a pair of scissors. She would use them to edit the fashion around her. And then the prompt for day 2 is choose one of your past designs and remove one element, a line, a texture, a color. See if it becomes more powerful when you let it breathe. All right, so that's day 2. Let's hop in. So I also grab some experiments, some laws. Let's see. Okay, this is a good one. This is day 126. This is Hicks' Law. It says, when faced with too many choices, people freeze. Hicks' Law states that the time it takes to make a decision is logarithmically related to the number of choices available. Essentially, as the number of options increase, the time to decide increases as well. The same is true in design and life. Simplicity and few choices actually make everything easier. Consider when you open your hands to a child and ask her, would you like A or B? You have simplified the entire process down for her. As a designer, we can use restraint as power. Choosing what to leave out can be the most creative act of all. Prompt: where in your work or life have you made things too complicated? Write about one place where simplicity could bring clarity. So that's one of the laws. I do some of my favorite books. I have quotes from a lot of wonderful things. This is day 133. It's called We Already Have What We Need. As a designer, sometimes we go searching for things because we do not feel fulfilled. We think something is missing. The truth is, often, we already have everything we need to do the work. We might need a new tool, a new mentor, or a new software to help achieve that next level, but the foundation is already there. The foundation is inside us, ready to help us achieve. An ironic example of this is given by Aesop's fable of an eagle who was hit by an arrow. His distress was that the arrow that hit him was made with eagle's feathers. The moral of the story is that we often give our enemies the means to our own destruction. Turn that moral upside down and you see that the opposite is also true. We give ourselves the means to our own success. The same wings that could wound could also lift. The same tools, instincts, and talents that might once have held us back, when redirected, can help us soar. So much of design and of life isn't about collecting more, but about using what we already have in a different way. Our creativity, our curiosity, and our perseverance are already inside of us. When we stop searching outside ourselves for permission or validation, we realize the resources we've been looking for were within us all along. The prompt for this day is think about a project or idea you have been wanting to do for some time. Write down what resources you already have to accomplish the project. So the book is really filled with these kinds of stories, and my hope is inspiration and positivity. I think there is quite a bit of negativity in the world, and it's hard to see the positivity through it, and this book is really meant to embody that, to make you feel like your next steps, your next layers are within you, that you are ready to do them, that you can grow from it. That's my real hope from it. And so there's also design concepts, right? I have one called Proximity as a Design Concept. I also have one called Proximity as a Business Concept. Trying to think, there's lots of artists in here like Vincent van Gogh and Sorry, I'm like hopping through one piece dedicated to Comic Sans. I'm gonna hop through and see if I can find some other fun things. And here, Unity, here's a good one. So this is really straightforward and short, but it's about Unity, which is a basic design principle that we use on a daily basis as designers. This is day 217. In a unified design, we instantly see the purpose and meaning. Visually, everything works together. Eye movement is easy and unrestrained. Colors make sense. Typography is legible, and if that contributes to the purpose. In theory, Unity seems simple and straightforward. In practice, designers struggle to make all the elements work together. Achieving Unity comes from practice and critique. By letting mentors help you see where you can continue to improve, Unity becomes easier to practice and less of a theory. The prompt for this day is to find a piece you've made that isn't quite right. See how you can unify the elements. This might be a simple change or a big change depending on the piece. So we work through principles, we work through artists. My hope is that, and this book took a little bit to write, and I found myself, you'll see there's several on perfectionism, wanting to feel this kind of perfectionism around it. Like I kind of wanted to hold this book back for a whole year and work through it myself for a whole year before I gave it to you. But instead, what I decided to do is I am planning on working through these this year. And I'm going to come back and report to you, tell you how it's going, what I'm doing, and any aha moments I've had in my own life. And I hope that you do the same. I hope that you open up this book and you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear today. This is exactly the positive moment I needed this morning. Or, oh man, I have been really, really working through my perfectionism tendencies, and this thing, I'm going to read it every day because it's going to help me move through this. Speaking of perfectionism, I thought I'd read day 312 to you. It's called The Bamboo and the Oak. There once was a bamboo and oak tree that lived in a forest together. The oak was thick and strong. The bamboo was light and flexible. When a breeze passed, the bamboo waves gently with the breeze. The oak tree chastised the bamboo for how weak he was since he moved with the breeze. Soon after, a storm rolled in. The bamboo bowed to the wind, but the oak split. The bamboo's final sentiment was, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is bend. What things have you been inflexible with in your life? How could being more flexible lead to better results in your design or artwork? One of the best things we can do is know when it's time to bend. And the prompt here was, write down a list of things you have not been flexible on and how things might change if you were more adaptable. This could be mindset, deadlines, timelines, and so much more. And then this particular one has an author's note. You'll always notice it in italics at the bottom. So here's my author's note. I find that the most flexible and adaptable of my students end up also being the most profitable designers. The moment they notice there is a change in weather, they're not afraid to make a swift change. Meanwhile, creatives who refuse to make any adjustments find that everything just feels too hard and often give up. Success is almost always in the hands of the designer. I have seen this so many times, it kind of blows my mind, especially when a designer has been told they need to make a change multiple times and they still refuse to do it. When we refuse to make change, it is very difficult to move forward and to make money in our businesses. And you have to consider the changing market that we currently live in. Everything changes so quickly. Holy cow, the number of times I have to change my courses, and I'm talking about like weekly/monthly, just because Adobe keeps adding things and changing things. This is what I'm talking about. And so in a world of change, we have to be changeable. We have to be adaptable and flexible. And that's really what I'm saying here. Anyway, I hope you love this book. It's The Intentional Design Year. It's 365 days of inspiration and guidance. I hope there are some of you who take this challenge. Maybe you're hearing this episode not on, before January 1st. Doesn't matter. You can start this anytime you want. Maybe you start it February 1st or March 1st. But the point is to start it and to really decide how you can use it. The goal is to become the designer we are meant to be. And that's really what I'm hoping you will find here in this book. You are welcome to get the free version for a month and come read it, see if it's enjoyable to you. Or if you're ready to commit, it's I try to make it the least expensive I could on Amazon. But you can find it. Just put in The Intentional Design Year and by Karina Gardner, and you will see a book, and you will also see a prompt journal. Now, if you're like, what's the prompt journal? It's literally the same prompt you're seeing at the bottom of the page inside the design year. So I've put it in both places, but instead it's set up kind of like a sketchbook, so you don't have to rewrite it. And so it just has the prompt at the very top of the page, and then some pages are sketch pages and some pages are journaling pages. I'm personally very excited to use this prompt journal to try something new with it and kind of see how my year unfolds. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you soon.
Want to hang out more? Go to designsuitecourses.com/free to get our weekly freebies and patterns, die cut files, and more. Can't wait to see you there.